Hello and welcome to Then What Happened. We are emotional creatures. And sometimes we say emotional as though it's a bad thing. Someone will say, oh, he was very emotional about that topic or that subject, or she was emotional today at work, or some person had something very emotional going on in their life. Well, let me break it to you real simple. We are emotional creatures and we are subject to those emotions. A lot of creatures on our planet are emotional. They show and experience a degree of emotion, but they don't create with that emotion like we humans do. We are different in that capacity. We take an emotion that we have and we create poetry or music. We create art. We create something that can be enjoyed or felt by others by the emotions of others. So when we are talking about being emotional, let's get that in perspective. Let's use that in a positive way. The scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson made the statement that rational thoughts never produces the creativity that emotions do, because emotions create something from a much deeper perspective. And even if it's a negative emotion, just think of poets like Emily Dickinson, who much of her poetry, the vast majority that I'm aware of, is something that others might call negative emotion. She wrote a lot about death. She wrote a lot about pain and suffering. And so have many other authors, writers, playwrights, and poets. But they have produced something for generations to enjoy. Centuries later, we are experiencing or able to experience music and themes from past generations because of their emotion. And yes, many times our emotions cause us pain. If you're going through a hard time in your life, a struggle, and your emotion becomes very distraught, discouraged, maybe even depressed, it becomes real obvious very quickly that you need help in your emotions. Therapists are there to help us in our emotional state. It's amazing that some of the most successful people in the world have experienced some very negative emotion as they worked through the process of doing what they wanted to do in order to be successful. Sometimes just the struggle for success itself creates an emotion. Art is one of my favorite things. I enjoy seeing what someone else has left behind in the form of art. And looking at that piece, whether it's a painting, an oil, a watercolor, a bronze, whatever that piece of art is, it lends something to the personality. It gives us a hint of the personality of the person who created that piece. And we can sometimes even feel that aloneness, that quietness, that cold. We can feel an emotion that the artist put into that creation. It's for sure that when we hear music, we feel that. One of the greatest things that I enjoy is music. Whether it's instrumental or whether the lyrics are pulling at my emotion, there is always something there that plays on the human emotion. We share emotions every day. When we say good morning, when we greet those we work with, we can create or expand on some emotion that's already existing there. But emotion is something you and I need desperately. And I want to encourage you that in those times when emotion is the most intense, when emotion is strong, don't be afraid of the emotion. Let it work out for you in a way that you can use it for good. In times of sadness, some of the greatest masterpieces in the world have been written. In some of the moments of ecstasy, love, excitement, joy, writers, composers, authors have created things for us to enjoy. So go ahead, experience your emotion, demonstrate your emotion. Within reason, we all have an opportunity and an obligation to share our emotions with others. Let that be a part of your life. Don't think yourself bad. Don't think yourself weak because of the emotion you're experiencing. But let that emotion stimulate a creativity in you. And in your area of talent or skill or expertise, flourish in the moment. And let emotion have an opportunity to improve, to help you, to strengthen you, and to give you an opportunity to be creative. Thank you for joining us on Then What Happened. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.